Alright guys, new project today. This is a 2008 Trailblazer that seems to have a cracked exhaust manifold. It's just loud as hell. And as you can see, I bought the new manifold, the donut, and the new exhaust manifold. Let me show you this. This kind of irritated me a little bit. This is my parents' car, by the way. I don't know if you can see that. 33,850 miles. And this thing's already got a cracked manifold on it. But after doing some research online, I found out that it was pretty common, and I believe it's a 2008, 2009, or 2007, 2008 models. GM actually extended the warranty to like 10 years or 120,000 miles. The only problem with that is the local Chevy dealers kind of an asshole. We've had some problems with him. He's reneged on a couple of deals we've tried to do with him through work. And for the parts, I called him, and just for the manifold he wanted over $600, which is ridiculous. I called the local GMC Pontiac Cadillac dealer. He quoted me $236 over the phone. Then when I got down there, for everything, including the gaskets, he discounted it, and it only ended up costing me $177.54 with tax from the GMC guy, which is also the same dealer I bought all my parts from. So that kind of helps. Now, as you can see, the manifold's buried down under here. I'm going to remove the air box and all that, and that cover, and see if we can see the crack. I don't know if it's going to be on the visible side or the back side, but we'll find out. So let me get set up here and we'll get started. Alright, so all I did was remove the air filter box. There's 1, 2, 3 screws and a clamp and 1 wire connection. You can remove the whole air tube and all that. This area I can just pull up out the way. The only one that I'm thinking I might have trouble with is this AC line, and I still may be able to fish it out around. I'll just have to see. Alright, so I've unhooked various wires. I think I'm able to swing that up out the way. Now I gotta get these little rusty ass nuts off. I'm going to try a new product called Freeze Off. You basically spray this on the nut for 10 to 20 seconds, and it's supposed to make the temperature of the metal drop so fast that it'll actually crack the rust bond. I don't know, never used it. Figured I'd give it a shot. Beats trying to torch all of them off. So let's see what it does here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it says you let it set for 2 minutes. You can tap on it with a hammer or whatever. Let me try and move my light so I don't get this shit burnt out of my arm. And there's one down there. And one. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's one way back here. Alright, so as you can see, It's exactly what I expected. You see the crack right there in the manifold. Very obvious. As I said, it's a common problem on these Trailblazers with the 4.2 liter. I'm not sure, you know, what actually causes it. Probably stress would be my guess, or the heat cycles. I will say this, that freeze off, while it does smell, is excellent stuff. Once I sprayed it on there and broke them free, I was able to twist them all off with my finger. So those of you that are like me and don't really like WD-40 or PB Blaster or anything like that, you've always just grabbed the torch, the hot wrench. Give it a try. It is pretty nice. Some of the stubborn ones, it says you'll have to you know, tap with a hammer and stuff, but all in all, it's good stuff. Now, I don't know that I'll film much of the trying to get those manifold bolts free. I don't know. The car is real tight. There's not really a good camera position. Alright guys, I got the old one out, and as you can see, there's the problem. It cracked. And this one actually cracked all the way through. All the ones I've seen online, they usually just crack across the front. I'm not gonna lie to you, this was a bitch to get off. As you can see, I had to cut one stud. When you do this, before you worry about taking these out, take these off. Otherwise, when you go to take these off, the whole exhaust wants to move on you because it's all suspended with those rubber isolators. Now here's the new one, and as you can see, the two centers are no longer solid like on this one, and I'm guessing that's to aid in flex. But as you can see, I had to take my die grinder and get up in there just behind that flap and cut the nut off. But I'll start filming again once I get that header set in place. Let me show you these real quick. These gaskets right here, see how they have that little ridge? That ridge points toward the exhaust manifold. When you slip this in, you should be able to see the, I don't know if you can see that. Those numbers right there stamped into the gasket. You should be able to see those when you slip this gasket into place. Alright, so I took all the manifold bolts, there's 11 of them, and I've got them soaking in carb cleaner, and I'll take my handy brass brush, clean all the threads. A lot of people are probably wondering, well, why don't you just run them through the wire wheel on a grinder? Well, I, at the moment, don't have a wire wheel on the grinder, so this way will work okay, and then I'll just clean them up with some brake fluid, and we'll put a dab of Loctite on them, stick them back in. Alright guys, sorry I didn't get to show you too much of the reassembly. I got kind of interrupted with one of the other employees there and had to help him, and I had to get the car back together before I went home today. Reassembly is just the same as disassembly, just in reverse. Bolt the manifold to the head first, torque all those bolts to 15 foot-pounds, and they recommend you do that in 3 stages. And they also recommend you put a high temperature Loctite on the bolts, and then go down under the car, and your 3 studs that bolt to the exhaust pipe, just tighten those till the flange touches the manifold, and you're good to go on that. It should be all leak free, but the car is, as you can hear, is 100% better. it really sounded like a farm tractor. It was pretty bad. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend this repair as a do-it-yourselfer if your vehicle's got any miles on it at all, like probably more than 50,000. For the simple fact that you are at a greater risk for breaking one of the bolts off in the head, and that's most of the time. If it's one of the corner bolts, you got to remove the head to fix that, because there's really no room unless it happens to break one of the center bolts. This car had 33,000 on it, and like I said, check with the dealer, because there is a service bulletin that says that they extended the warranty on these vehicles to like 10-year, 120,000 miles, just to cover the exhaust manifold on these. So if your vehicle has any amount of miles on it, above 45,000, 50,000, I would strongly recommend you just take it to the dealer, let them do it, because they're better off to handle a snap bolt in the head. As for that freeze off, that stuff is good stuff. I like it. It seems to work pretty good. You can actually spray it on the bolt and touch the bolt after you've sprayed it 10-20 seconds, and the bolt is physically colder than the surrounding metal, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to freeze the bolt, make it shrink to break that rust bond in there. So if you get a chance, try it. I think I paid like $6 for that can. But again, I'm sorry I didn't show you the reassembly, but I got too busy. If you have any questions, don't just post them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Later.